Now, sources have revealed the centre's proposed plan to provide relief to the survivors of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots cases. Sources claim that the union government may give 5 lakh rupees each to the family members of the more than 3,000 victims who were killed during the anti-Sikh riots in 1984. The centre's move may prove a crucial step to offer the healing touch to the Sikh community in Delhi. At least that's what the union government would like to believe. The move also comes as the centre weighs fresh elections in Delhi, where the community hold key in several constituencies.
The centre has announced an additional compensation of rupees 5 lakhs to over 3,000 families of victims of the anti-Sikh riots in 1984. We are joined by one of the chief campaigners for justice for the 84 riots, Mr. H.S. Fulka. Mr. Fulka, your initial reaction to this new announcement of compensation for the victims?
It's a welcome move, and we thank the government for giving it. Though I am told that out of the package which was announced by the Prime Minister in 2006, about 200 crore was yet to be distributed, and this money is given out of that. But even if it is done, but this government has announced to give it, it's a welcome move, and we thank the government for this. But at the same time, we request that now the justice should also be done. The compensation was one part of the justice, and the punishment to the guilty, which is absolutely necessary to uphold the rule of law of the country, that is also imperative. And now the government should also immediately start the SIT, which was already earlier been since long time it has been going on, and the SIT should be made operational at the earliest and should start functioning.
2 questions on the basis of what you just said, sir. First, you were suggesting for 8 years the UPA government was sitting on these 200 crore rupees without actually giving it away to those who it was meant for, and finally after 8 years that amount which is set aside is finally being dispensed?
Yes, in 2006 the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has declared a package of 717 crores, and what the figures are available with me, that approximately close to 200 crores was still not distributed out of that. Now this government has decided to give this amount. It says this should have been done by the previous government. Now this government is doing it. It is a welcome move.
The second question to you will be the SIT. It's been about 8 months since the SIT was formed by the Lieutenant Governor. Where does it stand now with the new government coming in? The UP is not in power anymore. Congress does not have a say in things anymore. Still, we are not hearing any news as far as the SIT is concerned. Do you think that this government is also going to brush things under the carpet?
You see, since last 5 months, this government is sitting over the SIT and also over that missing charge sheet against Sajjan Kumar. That is also still pending with the CBI. It has not been filed. Now, the 2 of the major constituents of this government, Akali Dal as well as the BJP, had fully supported both of these demands when they were in opposition. Now when they are in power, they should act fast on it and should do both of those. Appoint the SIT and also file that missing charge sheet against the Sajjan Kumar in Nangloi case in the court at the earliest.
So SIT is nothing but something on the paper right now. We don't have a functioning body with anyone who's actually investigating the cases.
No, it has not been even notified. It was just a decision was taken and it is not implemented. So SIT is not operational yet. That is what needs to be done. Government should immediately notify it and make it operational.
Thank you very much for joining Headlines today, Mr. Fulka.
We have Shivarur joining us from the Delhi newsroom for more on the story. Shiva, very strategically timed healing touch.
Absolutely. Let's remember what H.S. Fulka has just said, Viral. These funds were first declared to be disbursed way back in 2006 as a result of a huge amount of red tape. A lot of roadblocks since then. A large amount of the money, has simply sat there in the funds, not been dispersed, to the families that need them the most. Remember, this is compensation over and above compensation that has already been distributed. This government has simply, fast-tracked the disbursement of those funds which had been declared in 2006, which is actually a good thing because remember, as H.S. Fulka rightly points out, it means that this money has been declared but not distributed to these people.
Right.
As far as a pre-poll ploy is concerned, that's something that's going to be speculated upon, before any election at this time. But I think the operative part of what we need to look at, tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of the anti-Sikh massacre. They weren't riots. It was definitely a massacre. It was completely one-sided. Over 4,000 families haven't received, a single bit of justice. You're talking about the missing charge sheet against Sajjan Kumar. You're talking about several other leaders, many of whom have actually passed away. Several people from the Delhi police, all of them thankfully still alive and, healthy enough to face justice. So the onus on the Modi government is not going to be in, handing out little bits of money to people who haven't seen a shred of justice for 30 years. As H.S. Fulka, he pretty much encapsulated the sentiment right now. Whether it's before the elections, whether it's going to be after the elections, the point is to deliver justice. There are SITs there. There's a CBI investigation on, a multifaceted investigation on into documents, into thousands of affidavits by eminent citizens and people who actually saw what happened. So if the government really, wants to do something for the victims of that massacre, it will have to go into into precisely delivering justice to those families. It's not going to be able to, sort of buy out any peace with compensation of
Absolutely,
this kind.
A lot more than just compensation. Thanks, Shiv, for that perspective on that story.